Oh, hey there. Welcome to the Close Friends List podcast. We're so excited to have you here. You've been added to our close friends list. Before we jump into this episode and start yapping and gabbing, wanted to stop by and let you know that you can find us on social media at Close Friends List Pod. You can find us on TikTok, Twitter, Insta, Spotify, YouTube, and anywhere else with podcast platforms. We're so excited to see you online and hope to be added to your close friends list. Let's get into this episode.
Welcome back to the Close Friends List pod, everyone. We are Katie and Erin, and Adia is not here because we are talking Wuthering Heights, and she acted like she had seen that in her watch or read it in elementary school, and we knew that was fake.
But I don't know. Did that ever make like a final cut anywhere that it ended up not
Did
being
that?
the right
I
book?
thought it
I don't think
was.
I don't know. So for any listeners, just in case you weren't
Oh,
aware, like
me just shading
months.
Adia, but you're just like, wow, Erin, you really hate her right
Well,
now. I
I
don't
feel like it
love
might have been
Adia.
after we stopped recording one day. I don't know why. I
I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
But Adia was under the impression that she had read Wuthering Heights. Like one of her elementary school teachers had read it to the class, and
Yeah,
both of us were like, "That's kind of weird."
that
But okay,
sounds crazy.
weirder things have happened at her school,
Yeah.
right?
Slap Ass
So
Friday,
yeah,
like everything.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. So we're like, okay, sure, whatever. Come to find out, it was Great Expectations, wasn't
yes.
it?
Yeah.
So she's like,
And
"Oh
it's,
yeah, like that movie, like I thought it was gonna be like what I was gonna be interested in, but
yeah.
I'm probably not. It's probably not the one I was
That
thinking of."
was so
So,
funny.
so yeah, as much as I mean, she could still watch the movie, but we definitely have some
Absolutely.
more thoughts on. I mean, you guys have been here for this journey. We've had book
Yeah.
discussion, movie
Too many.
adaptation discussion. We've
Too
literally
many.
talked about this movie too much, and this will
It's
be
like
the
actually
last time you
crazy
hear about
because,
it.
like, maybe.
Well,
It's
actually, that's
crazy.
not true because one of my loves coming out in like 3 weeks in episodes is me
Yeah.
seeing the movie. So just pretend like you go back in time,
Just
but
ignore. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a whole thing. But we also asked Savannah to be here, but she's boycotting the movie. So,
Oh, is she officially? I didn't know that. I
yeah.
just knew
Well,
she hadn't seen it yet.
she hadn't seen it yet. Then she was gonna find Evan was gonna find her
Yeah.
something, and then she was like, "Actually, I don't want to see this at all." So I was like, "I think she's
Okay.
boycotting the movie,"
And that's
which is
fair.
fine.
That's
That's
her
valid.
decision. Yeah.
That is her decision.
She's entitled to make her own choices.
Yeah, I saw it once. Katie saw it twice.
Well, we have to, you can't just say that. That makes it sound
Katie
like,
saw it twice. She loved it. Everything to her.
no, literally, her new fave. No, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that, but
Yeah.
yeah. But we have both
So
seen it, so
yes, we
yeah,
both
here we
saw it.
go.
I went to a fun little matinee. At first had the movie theater all to myself, and then three people walked in and I was like, wow, this is not what I wanted. I wanted a movie theater to myself to be like, what the heck, out loud, but I couldn't. But it's fine. How was your
Yeah.
movie viewing experience?
Yeah, so as you'll find out in like 3 weeks, I was excited to see the movie for no reason. Because we've been dogging on this, like, but the closer I got, the more I was like, maybe it'll be a good, time in the theater.
Yeah.
I was seeing it in IMAX. It turns out
Mm-hmm.
my theater was sold out. You hate to see that.
That's
Um,
crazy.
depending on the movie, but
Mm-hmm.
knowing what this was about to be, I'm like, that's not a good look.
Mm-hmm.
And my first viewing, I have to say, in hindsight, I was like definitely on some things because like I got there and I was just like I cried over the Hunger Games trailer that I've already seen 20 times. I was like having an amazing time watching the movie. I
Oh
will
my
say there
God.
was a girl like a couple seats down from me, so in my row, aka close enough for me to hear. She laughed every time she felt uncomfortable. Not that I think there's that much
Oh.
to feel uncomfortable about in the movie. We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm.
But she was chuckling a lot, like the opening scene. Well, we y'all already know we're about to spoil the shit out of this. So the opening scene,
Spoiler alert, three, two,
yeah,
one, go.
yeah, the opening scene, Emerald Fennel wants you to think, I'm assuming, right? But like given the context, she wants you to think that people are having sex because it's like a guy groaning and it's black screen and it's like, Emerald Fennel presents blah blah blah. So this girl's like chuckling because she feels uncomfortable because she thinks like it's opening with this guy having sex or whatever. And it's
Mm-hmm.
some like it's a hanging. And so then
Mm-hmm.
she abruptly stops chuckling. But it's awkward. heard like how loud it was. So
Yeah.
anyway, but besides that, I ended up covering my ear. That's a whole situation. The IMAX theater was loud. That's fine. But I left and I was like, wow, like I'll be seeing that again. Um,
Yeah.
and so I did see it again. And the second time was better, like without the
Good.
crowd distraction situation.
Okay,
But I
good.
definitely left being like, huh, a little less like interest. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, maybe pleasantly surprised, kind of like
Yeah.
Bridgerton. And then like
Yeah.
the second time I saw it, I was like, yeah, sure. Like, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
She also, I want to point out that Katie is now a full-blown Jacob Elordi stan.
Yeah,
And she
yeah.
texted in our group chat, she was like, I will not tolerate any Jacob hate in this. And I was like, first of all,
Look, I
how
can't
dare
do
you
it.
take that away from me?
I can't do
But
it. I can't do it. He was already wiggling his way in with the
I know you
Frankenstein,
were
like
loving
the
him. Yeah.
creature. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't like a full, like I wasn't ready to like shoot for him type
Yeah.
situation. But
And now,
now, yeah, I'm like, look, sorry, ladies,
ruined my day. It's
you can
fine.
hate him all you want, but it won't be in this group chat. I don't want
Which
to
is
see
funny
it.
because we hate a lot of things in that group chat.
This is
And
true.
yet
This is
Jacob
true.
is where we draw the line. I
I
move
know.
on.
Well, and I thought you were gonna say we have to mention, I mean, anybody who listens to this podcast knows that I'm an A-lister. So like I did not have
Yeah.
to if I had to pay two for two
Yes.
movie tickets, I would probably wouldn't have seen it twice. So just
Yeah,
putting
I
that
was
out
gonna.
there. Like if I had to
Yeah,
spend my own real money, because
yeah.
yes, I'm spending money, but I would be spending that either
It's in
way. So
general.
like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But if I had to go out of my way to buy a ticket, I don't think I would have
Yes.
seen it a second time,
Yeah.
which I just feel like I have to preface so that way like don't go spend your hard-earned money to watch it multiple times. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right, right.
Like gotta put that out there.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to the cheapest showing and
Yeah.
cheapest theater.
Yeah.
So there I was, matinee 12:30,
Exactly.
and I had a great time.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk like our first thoughts of this movie.
So I don't know about you. I no, I do a little bit because we texted a little. My initial when the lights came up, I was conflicted. I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't know how to feel actually because I was ready
yeah,
to go in hating it. And don't get it
yeah.
twisted, it is a bad book adaptation. Like this
Yes,
is not like
yes.
this is the 14-year-old version. Like you read
We
it at
get it. Yeah,
14
yeah, yeah, for
and this
sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But at the same time, I didn't completely hate it. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah, it
was able
wasn't.
to pay attention. Like I didn't want to look at my phone necessarily because there are
Yeah,
movies out there where I'm like, damn, like if I could just be on like Instagram at this, but
yeah. If I
I
can
was
play
like,
my game while watching this, like it would be great.
yeah. Yeah, so
I wasn't like
conflicted.
fully like, oh my gosh, I hate this. Like I did
Yeah.
go in being like, I'm ready for like a great hate watch. But then I was like, okay, Erin, like, take that away. Like just ignore the book at this moment and
Yeah.
just think about the movie and like what she's trying to do. And I was like, okay, like here I am sitting in this film or, film watching this. I was like, okay, it's not the worst thing I've seen, but it's also not the best thing I've seen.
Agree.
And I think it all starts with the casting. And I know we have already I know we've already said like Margot Robbie is just like was not meant for this role, but like seeing the
It's
actual
so different.
movie,
Yeah.
it's
Uh-huh.
yeah, we
It's
fully
apparent.
100% agree she should not have been cast as Kathy. And it just like obviously she's the executive producer and she put herself there and I was like, girl,
Yeah.
you should have just been behind the scenes or just made yourself like a kind of side off character. But
Agree.
she was like, I want to be here because like at first like when you first see Kathy, like grown up Kathy, she's like childlike and just like she's just, living, like she wakes up Heathcliff and, she's just like, come on, I forgot what she was saying, but she's like, let's go see blah, 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 or like something. And I'm like, girl, you look like you're 45.
Well,
And
and
and then
yeah.
also it was like her acting ability. Like, I'm not an actor and I never will claim to be, but I can tell you that this was not good acting wise.
Yeah. So I have issues with the screenplay in general, but the
Hmm.
screenplay tied in with Margot, I feel like really just like was double a problem because it's
Hmm.
exactly like you're saying, like, so because Margot Robbie is 35, like
Really, only
what
35?
yeah. Yeah.
I thought I was being generous when I said 40 in my notes, but
That's crazy. But yeah,
she's
so
only like 3 years older than us.
yeah, yeah. But
You're that's a joke.
the weird thing to me is like, so are we committing to her being 35 or are we committing to her being 17 and we have a 35-year-old playing her? I can't, and I couldn't tell based on the screenplay. I still don't know because the other thing is,
Wait, no, I'm
i-
sorry. You shocked me with that 35.
is she? Did you look it up? I
She
thought she,
is.
yeah, yeah.
She is. I really
Well,
thought she was like 40 plus.
so I think part of what that is her stylist like dresses her in such a put together way that it makes you think that she's older than she is.
I think it's
And
also the white woman of it all.
it's also the Botox of it all.
Yeah, that too.
Like,
That too.
because she's 35 and probably didn't need Botox, but like, how come she's
Yeah.
crying and the forehead's not moving? Like,
Yeah,
so
she's like,
that is where yeah, like that's
okay,
where things
yeah.
become a problem for me. But
Yeah.
I really had a hard time with like, so is she 17 being played by a 35-year-old or is she 35 and we're just like pretending like the age up? Like I couldn't tell. And I think that's a problem because like you said, like they want her to be kind of playful and youthful,
Mhm.
but she's also like they're also treating it sort of like a coming of age, like she's having these kind of sexual experiences like against the
Yeah.
rock and it's like but we know inherently that this world is sexual because at the hanging people were like having sex in public. So it's
Yeah, they
like
were like, we cheer, and then like everything.
yeah, they're like hooking up in public. So it's like I can't figure out like is she really supposed to be having like a coming of
Yeah.
age moment at 35 or are we still
Yeah.
pretending she's 17? Like I can't tell.
I
And
was kind of
the
under
script
the
wasn't helping us either.
yeah, not at all. I was kind of under the impression because they changed so much that
Yeah.
it was like I thought she was supposed to be like 20.
Well, and that was kind of my inclination. Like, I ultimately balanced on like maybe like early mid 20s because they did say
Yeah.
she's old, like too old, like coming on spinster age, which might be like 25, 27. I mean,
Mhm.
that's kind of generous. Like, it would probably be a
Yeah.
little younger. But yeah,
Mhm.
I'm like, that is a whole problem because that was my issue both times I watched it. Like, she is my personal main issue. Like, I know there's other
Mhm.
casting choices. Like, I mean, I the first thing I said to y'all was like it shouldn't have been Jacob, but he did the best with what he was given because
Yeah.
look, I mean, they didn't even
Yeah.
write Heathcliff, like they just made him a dom. So like it's not even really
Yeah.
Heathcliff. So I'm going back a little, but my overarching besides like above the casting and everything is
Mhm.
and we've said this before, it should have just been called something else and inspired
Yes.
by because then
Yes.
all of
Given a
these
10 things I hate
liberties
about you, giving a she's the
exactly
man, like it should have
anyone
been
but
something.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Something
then
else.
all of these liberties would have been overlooked, I think. Because
Yeah.
then you
We would have
can
been like, oh,
do,
okay. Mhm.
yeah, you can take creative liberty and do whatever you
Mhm.
want with that story. Because
Mhm.
a lot of people are very upset that it's basically just like a toxic love story
Mhm.
that's how she chose to interpret it, but
Mhm.
also if she would have just called it something else, nobody would care. Because in theory, like Wuthering
Mhm.
Heights, it's supposed to talk about class, it's supposed to talk about race, it's supposed to talk
Yeah.
about all these things. So you
Yeah.
have, and even with the quotes, you have these preconceived notions of what it's going to
Yes.
be because
Also, I
it's
feel like
called that.
when you're doing like a classic with such a large fan base, like you
Yeah.
can't, you're going to have people coming to defend, coming to like attack you and how you're going to make it. So, really, if she was smart, she would have just named it something else. Kathy and
Yeah.
Heathcliff or
Because,
like
I mean,
Heathcliff, like
it
something.
is, yeah, it is public domain and she can do whatever she wants with it and that's fine. Like
Absolutely.
ultimately that's why I say like I didn't necessarily hate it. Like it wasn't the worst thing I've seen. I mean,
Mhm.
I sat through it twice and it's 2 hours. So, it's
Yeah.
you can do what you want. It's public domain. I
Mhm.
don't care. I
Mhm.
do ultimately think she would have gotten a lot less flack
Mhm.
everywhere if she would just been
Yeah.
inspired by it. And you
Because
can still
then
even use
like
the character names. You can still say Emily
absolutely.
Bronte wrote it. I mean, you can still use all
Absolutely.
of the same marketing. It just would
Absolutely.
be a little bit, well, better received, maybe.
Yeah, and then it like just also didn't help that like only a couple weeks like when she was going on her press tour did she start like being
Yeah.
like, "Oh, yeah, this is why I wrote it. Oh, yeah, this is this. This is what it is." And not like from the beginning because like if she had
Yeah.
said all of this from the beginning, everyone would have been like, "Okay, still don't like it," but like they would have had less to like cherry pick and be like, "Oh, well, this she did this wrong. She didn't do this," over. So
I do think I'm glad I saw those interviews. You don't see, I mean, not everybody
Yeah.
sees all the press interviews, but if I went in
Mm.
thinking it was going to be like a true edit, I would have been way more not
Yeah.
upset because I didn't really like the book. Y'all know that. But like, there's something to be said about
Yeah.
like you want it to be relatively faithful,
Mm.
even if you didn't like it. So I
Mm-hmm.
think if I'm kind of glad I knew going in this was not about to
Absolutely.
be
That's why I was like really
like,
glad she said it
yeah,
finally. And we finally got
agreed.
like footage of her being like, oh, you know, I wanted to give my 14-year-old self the version they read. I
And
wanted
to
to
be honest, like
blah, blah,
I
blah.
really feel like that's the most accurate description of this
No,
whole movie. Like
absolutely. I'm like,
if I
oh,
would have
okay,
read
well,
this at 14, like this is what Bella in Twilight thought Wuthering Heights was. Like that
yes.
is like
Yeah.
really yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
So,
And again, I mean, you can do whatever you want with this material.
hmm
It just would have been better if you would have just named it something else. You could
for
have.
sure.
And it would have
For
not have been a
sure.
problem.
hmm
Anyway, but
hmm
yeah, so Margot ultimately my biggest issue. And I also think like you said like the executive producer of it all. Like it's one
hmm
thing if someone would have reached out to her, but for her to read the script and be like, "No, I want to do that." And
Me.
then
Yeah.
that just like double a
Yeah.
problem.
I also this is a tangent on her that I saw this interview recently that I think I sent it to you that she was doing with Jacob,
Oh, where he picked
and
or she picked him
she
for
was like,
Saltburn.
just so you know, I read Saltburn's script and I said Jacob Elordi needs to do it, and he was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, "Girl, stop giving yourself all this credit." Because it's embarrassing. Anyway, I now she has a op and it's me.
But we kind of
Um,
knew that we've been hurt, like, because we've said that even before this movie came out. I mean, and I still to this, I mean, I stand by this. She just has no chemistry with anyone. I mean, even in this movie,
mhm.
Jacob is giving all the heart eyes he can, and there is
He's
just
trying his
nothing.
best.
Yeah, there's
He really
just,
was. Like, even though I don't like that man, like he was trying his best with what he
just
has, like what he was
because,
given in
yeah, it
that.
was already a whole situation.
Yeah.
So,
Mm,
sorry. While we're talking about it, we have to mention the accents. His, because his was believable. Because his, I was like, wait, okay, I kind of believe it. Hers, brother, you are not from England, much less Northern England. Like, let's
Anywhere.
be.
Yeah. It
Did
was
you work with
just
a coach at all? Like, I'm so sorry, Margot. I don't want to rag on you like this, but that is my. Why did you leave me? It's such that accent, please.
I was
Please.
just like, it was just everything all
Yeah,
combined.
you're
I
right.
was
You're right. You're
like,
right.
this is
The
rough,
forehead, the
Margot.
accent, yeah, you're right, you're right.
The forehead.
I mean, I saw it
I
in
know
IMAX, so the screen's so fucking
you're like,
big, I'm
wow.
like,
Yeah. I think
not
I
a
saw it in
wrinkle in
XD or
sight.
something, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't as crazy. Continuing on Margot, I take back what I said about how awful the candy red of the dress was because like in the teaser it was shocking, but then like when she pops out of the carriage in that dress, I'm like, "Oh, okay, it makes sense because she like
Yeah.
was at Wuthering Heights and then she goes to the Grange, comes back and is now like, "Look at me, I'm all,
Hmm.
high
I'm
class now or whatever."
changed.
And I
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, like I get it. I don't I still was like, this is crazy for like the time period that we're in, but I was like, I see why they did it.
Yeah, and it tells the
Um,
story a little bit, right? Of
and
like,
it does. And I
okay,
was like,
true
okay, like
poor poverty
makes
to,
sense. Yeah,
yeah,
to like bougie, I guess. Um, but yeah, so I guess I take back that hatred for that.
agreed, agreed.
But
Oh, and I want
but
to take back, we were clowning the carriage promo a couple months ago. I want to take that back because
it was just so random and I knew
it
we like
was.
it
It
was just
was.
so random. And I feel like it still
But
shouldn't have been a
a
teaser,
promo?
like a
Yeah.
promo
Yeah.
pic, but like I get why it was there.
Agreed. And I want to take it back because I really like the things that Jacob Elordi was doing in that
Yeah,
carriage.
you did.
So, not
Yeah,
her
you
still, but
did. No, no, no. You sent that screen cap of like the one scene and I was like,
please.
I can't appreciate what Jacob is doing because like Margot is just like
I know.
like
I
looking
know.
crazy right there.
I know. But
Um,
and I'm not gonna harp on this too long because I literally can't because nobody
we
else here is
will.
gonna care or like because you and Savannah are both have issues. like the way his tongue moves in that scene was so fucking crazy to me. And it's like kind of what I wanted because I said to
And
you
this is why
guys,
Katie is now a full-blown Jacob Elordi shooter, y'all.
because I said before, like, I mean, I went in knowing this wasn't going to happen, and I hate to even put it out there like this on the podcast, but I went in and I said, she's pretending it's going to be freaky. We know it's not. Let's start there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would just love knowing that there's like a finger mouth moment. I would love for
Something.
like spit to be involved in some way. And
Yeah.
it wasn't
Because there was a
obviously
lot
because
of
why would there
there was
be?
a lot of like finger mouth moment, but like
Yeah, yeah. So that to
it was dry.
me, yeah, like so his tongue in that was kind of as close as I was gonna get. And so I
Yes.
ate it up
You did. You
like a
did.
fool. So
Speaking of Freaky Jacob, the one part in the movie where I was like, "Oh, wait." Him crawling on the floor to her, to
yeah.
Margot in the Grange, like in
See,
secret. And I was
that's why
like, "Oh,
that's
wait,
why I
God."
say like he did the best with what he was given because
No,
he
he
didn't
absolutely,
have to do
absolutely.
that. And her fingers were in his
Absolutely.
mouth and his
And I
eyes
was
are
like,
like, yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
gagged. That
No,
one part, I
okay.
was like, "Oh." And then the rest, I was like,
See,
"Okay."
and I don't know, again, I think I was on something, but like from the moment he comes back and looks like a pirate with that gold tooth and earring, I was
The
like,
earring was
no,
crazy.
I love it though. But I was like biting my knuckles through the rest of the movie after that. Like I was like, wait, I kind of see it.
Yeah. I also, he said that that beard was his. He had
I
grown
I
that
saw
beard and
that.
then
Yeah.
shaved it right off. I said, "Okay, slay."
Yeah.
I was
So the
expecting
mutton
a
chops were real
ponytail.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting a ponytail when he came back, but I was like, "Oh, okay." Shaved it all off, I
Yeah.
guess. Or
Gave
took
him
off the
the
wig.
One Direction yeah.
Yeah.
Gave him the One
Exactly.
Direction cut.
Exactly. Exactly. What
Oh, I
other
love the Charlie
notes?
XCX soundtrack. Loved. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I will say, I've been
Yeah.
seeing people say it didn't help with like the tone of the film because like there were dark moments, there were like funny moments, and like the
Mm-hmm.
music was kind of following that. But I would argue that is more the screenplay's fault
Mm-hmm.
because, I I
Mm-hmm.
I love the album, love the songs, and I think that
Yeah.
they fit in relatively appropriately. Like the screenplay is the one that's bouncing us back and forth from this
Mm-hmm.
hanging to them like whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
having little funny moments together. Like that's not,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a bigger issue, an
Yes.
overarching issue.
Yes. Speaking of a bigger issue, let's talk about the two POCs in this cast and how I
Yeah.
love them. They did a fantastic job with what they were given. But
See, that's
I
what it all boils down to, what they were given,
what they were given, but I'll always be mad that like the two people that like the Gen Pop is like going against are the two POCs
Well,
in this cast.
and I said
Even
this
though
to
like
you on my second watch. I'm like, I really don't understand the Edgar hate. Like, and I know you said it's because like he keeps them apart or whatever, but
yeah,
it's like that is what a husband would do. Like,
no, exactly,
I don't understand
exactly.
why we're mad at him about that. Like,
Exactly, because I'm
I
like, just people again are Jacob shooters, and they're like, we want Jacob to fall in love, and like typical like romance kind of thing. You're like,
yeah,
oh,
I
like
guess so.
Jacob's obviously the main male character, and he's
Right.
gonna end up with the female main character.
I
But like,
guess.
if you
But
don't
I
know any type of the
pers
book, you're
yeah,
like, here we
yeah.
go. But people were hating on him. I didn't hate him. I liked him.
Yeah, me
But
too. I still
I was
to
like,
this
he was
I'll
doing
defend him
great.
at this point. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Edgar was just trying to be a loving husband,
mhm.
and Kathy was going off the rails. Um,
Exactly.
all boys on to Margot. Anyway, no, but I don't get the hate for him, but like people were hating him just because
I guess
they
the
wanted
obstacle of
Heathcliff.
affection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Silly.
And then we knew Nellie was gonna
She's
be the
been a
biggest
number one
op.
op.
Like
Yeah.
she's always number one op, but like it just upset me because I was just like, wow, there could have been like you're going to have like POC because in the movie Nellie is like from a high class family and she's more of a companion to Kathy
Right.
versus in the book when she's like a servant
Yeah.
and just like
Kind
here
of
with like
around.
with
Lady's
Kathy.
maid type. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like even less than that because she was like doing the cooking,
Yeah,
doing the
she was just like
cleaning.
really present, I get. Like to tell the
Yeah.
story and know all the details.
Yeah,
She was
like
like maybe
yeah,
because
yeah.
I don't know. She was there a long time.
Exactly. So like they made that change, and I was like, oh, okay, so someone in high class
Yeah.
could be POC, so she could go, like a Bridgerton route and have like diversity around the thing. But I was like, just kidding, you're having all these other people be
I know, because
not
I
diverse.
love Hong Chow, and so I love like
She was great.
she was great, yeah. But it is like it is weird that she and Edgar are pretty much the only two PC in the whole movie. We're not even not
No,
even any other
literally.
servants or anything. Like
Literally. I was like,
that's
I was trying to think back, and I was like, I really don't recall seeing
because all the servants at
another
the at Kathy at
at
Wuthering were
Wuthering Heights. Yeah,
white
white.
and so it is like a little weird because even if you would have had other background characters, like maybe it would have made more sense. Like
Yeah.
maybe it would
Well,
have been less something. I don't know.
even when we were going through like the beginning scene of like the hanging and everything, it was
Yeah, yeah.
like all white people. I was
I know
like,
it's so
okay,
I know.
okay. Like just
Like
trying to think.
in theory, England was like well, not even because that it was where she set the book was relatively close to a port town, wasn't it? That was the whole point. It's like
Yeah.
that's why Heathcliff could have been
Yeah.
whatever. So whatever, because I'm like maybe England there was like a lot of white people there for a long time, but then again it's like doesn't really you have
Yeah.
these two and then that's it. Like it was
So
a
that kind of
little
yeah, so
yeah.
that watching it, I was like, "Oh, that's upsetting," but I guess I move on, you know?
I know it's tough because it's like it is ultimately a microaggression because but all like Nellie is the number one op in the book, so you're not going to
No,
change that either. But
exactly.
like
Exactly.
it's the whole
It's the
yeah yeah
casting of it all.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah.
And then also like her making Heathcliff white. I'm like, you're just doing too
Which
much.
and that whole thing
And
is
you're not
yeah
thinking about.
we've talked
Yeah,
about
we've
yeah
over talked about
we
it,
can't talk about
but
that can of worms again
because
because
we'll get into it and it'll be 30 minutes later. Like, what are we doing?
literally
But yeah, so that was one of my biggest complaints. I was like, okay, well, you're apparently making one of the biggest movies of the year, quote unquote. Have some diversity in there. But we move on.
yeah.
What can we do?
I loved the actual look of Wuthering Heights, like with
Mm.
the rocks and like kind of the oh wait, we
Yes.
didn't even talk about this. The moors, God bless. They're
The
so
Moors.
foggy and
Yes, that
vast
I was actually
and
like, wow, she did a good job with this. Like the rain,
yeah.
the fog, the like when he was like chasing or was it her chasing him or him I don't know. Someone was yelling out to one other and then I was like you can barely see the person in the
Yes.
distance because of how foggy it was and I was like, yeah, that is
Because
correct.
that's what I wanted. Like I want it to
Mhm.
feel like because they are in the middle of nowhere. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
I want it to feel like that. So I thought
Mhm.
that was good. Set
Yeah.
design, I guess, generally. Although I
Yes.
hate to even say that because I personally didn't like what she did with the Lintons. Again, it's like you said with the red dress. Like
Yeah.
it's meant to prove a point. Like the
Mhm.
audacity of like how
Mhm.
like
How
her pink
grand and
robe.
yeah,
Yeah,
rich,
exactly.
yeah.
And how much money
Mhm.
they have. But
Mhm.
it was just like a little too much for me personally.
Yeah.
But that's just a personal choice. That's not
Yes.
like
I so the Wuthering Heights of it I liked and then when they went
mhm.
to the Grange for the
Yeah.
first time I was like, okay, yeah, it's like gated in, like it's kind of
hmm
like cookie cutter and I was like, okay, like I like that, but then the more as we went on in the Grange, I was like, I don't like this. And I mean it's supposed to be like weird and kind of
Well,
creepy. I
yeah.
feel like she's trying to make it like the further on we get into the movie and the further like Margot lives there and whatever, but I was like I don't like some of the things you're choosing to do with the setting of this home.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's that one room that's like all blue sparkly wallpaper and it just feels like a
Mhm.
bit like and again it's meant to show off the money, but at the same time I'm like it's
Yeah.
just
The
feels a
one where
little like out of
it was
place. I don't know.
yeah, the
But it's a choice it's a
coloring of it
creative
all.
choice.
Yeah, it for sure is and I that's just like
It
us,
is
I
what it
guess,
is.
nitpicking and being
It,
like, okay,
well,
we don't
yeah.
like. But it's like I feel like
Because
the
they did a good
hands.
job with what like clearly they wanted it to look a certain way and it didn't look
Mhm.
cheap or anything. Like, so
No.
they
And
did
it
a
was
good
supposed to
job.
look not fake, but like out of place because like he fully rebuilt that place of the Grange
Yeah.
and you could see it like when she was watching the like carriages and stuff of his like the new house stuff moving in like it was gold and grand and like not at all what the Wuthering Heights was. So I get like again, it's that distinction between like upper class and like
Yeah.
lower class or whatever. But yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah.
And the more I saw it, the more I think I disliked it. But
Yeah, it was just a little over the top, but and that's what they were going for. So they
yeah,
did it. You know what I mean? Like that's
yeah,
fine. Like you
yeah.
did it, but it
Hmm.
was a bit much for me. But I mean, the whole movie, I
Yeah,
mean, the whole thing's kind of meant to be a spectacle, I feel like.
yeah. It for sure
Ultimately.
is. Yeah. What else?
Well,
We talk
Isabella?
about. I was just about to say Isabella. I really liked her. I
Yeah.
like that actress. I don't know her. I know she was in Saltburn as
Um,
well.
she's dating Josh O'Connor, which I think is interesting. Nobody really
Is
knows that
she?
because they've only been seen like once or twice together. Yeah.
That's tea. I
It
kind of
is
love it.
tea.
I
No, I
love
know.
it.
I was like, wait, that's
Wait,
kind of
that
everything.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that. I liked her. I liked what they did with the character because I know they change it,
Because you gotta,
in the
you're
book.
changing everything else.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Why
like,
keep
because
her the
people,
same?
yeah, because people
Um.
were mad that she had agency of like she was choosing to stay with Heathcliff. Because in the book, it was a very abusive situation. But I
Mhm.
just feel like, given what y'all already changed, like you
Mhm.
couldn't just leave
It
her.
worked.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of had to give her the
And then
agency.
also like the jealousy between
Yeah.
her and like
Oh,
Margot.
wait, that was
This
toxic. Yeah, that was
that was
good.
toxic. And then like obviously she like was growing to hate Margot, and so she was like, or okay, I'll start saying Kathy and not Margot. She was
Yeah,
growing to hate Kathy, and so like when they were like talking on the swings, and she was pushing her, and she was like, "You think it's jealousy? Like, why would
yeah,
I?" But I was like, "Okay, Kathy, this is crazy." And
yeah.
then like she just was like, "Okay, I'm one upping her," and then like
Mhm.
obviously she's like, Jacob sneak Heathcliff sneaking into Isabella's window. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
okay. And then I was like, okay, wait. I'm into this part, but I was
yeah.
like, very interesting.
It's funny because Isabella, we from when we first see her, she's talking about Romeo and Juliet. She's giving Edgar a
Giving the full
synopsis.
rundown.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was
And
so funny.
I was listening to her, and I'm like, wait, like low key, this movie is closer to Romeo and Juliet than it is Wuthering Heights. And so I
Mm,
feel again, I'm just like, we could have just gone a couple different routes with this,
mm-hmm.
and that would be okay, and that's okay. It really felt like with Romeo and Juliet to me. Oh, by the end, I mean, it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
couldn't be together, choke,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
external forces. I mean,
Exactly.
it was very. So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
that was just meant to be like, I don't know. I would love to know why that was included because it feels more relevant to the story and maybe she
Mm.
meant that or maybe it was coincidence. I don't know. Because
Mm.
she wanted to make Wuthering Heights, but it was closer to Romeo and Juliet.
It was like very interesting the change they made about Catherine's father. Cause he
Yeah.
like in the book is not really, first of all, doesn't he die early on? Like he's not
Relatively before,
um
I mean, yeah, because she
yeah, he
dies
like
by 40%. So I mean, he's gotta
exactly.
be, yeah.
He dies like he brings back Heathcliff as like I want to like we were talking about this earlier with Savannah on whether or
Yeah.
not like Heathcliff is like a half sibling or just like a random child that, the dad brings back. And I feel like in the book, it's giving half sibling, like
Agree.
that,
Totally.
yeah, that he was like, oh, it's just some kid we picked up, blah, blah, blah. But it's like secretly like, that's his
Hmm.
son. But then movie is like, oh, here's someone as your pet. Like, I just
Yeah.
like, blah, blah, blah. He was explaining like, some man was like
I
abusing him
know.
in the streets or something and
Yeah,
then
that
was
was kind
like,
of
what are you
a
doing?
that was a worse reason to bring him home, I feel like. Well, I mean, because they don't say why in the book, but yeah,
Mm.
I thought it was interesting Savannah didn't pick this up, but she didn't pick it up in Jane Eyre either because I'm like 90% sure those kids in the Jane Eyre book are Rochester's half like his children. He calls them his wards, but I think they're his children. Anyway,
Wait, which
that's
one?
in Jane Eyre. Where she's like the governess for the two kids in Jane Eyre,
Oh,
Mr.
the one
Rochester's
the
kids.
daughter. Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
his kid as
Yeah,
well.
they never said it, but Savannah was under the impression it was not his kid. Whatever. So
Just like
she
a
kind of did the
random
same
child.
thing.
He's Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, she did.
Okay.
So today when she said that about him not being half sibling, I'm like, okay, we gotta go back to the drawing board a
We had
little because
yeah.
yeah,
We had
this is like a
to
common
wait.
theme is like Savannah
Yeah.
not realizing these men are bringing home half children.
Because it's also like you think about the time, like they're already
Yeah,
not like the wealthiest people. Like, why
exactly.
would they be
Well,
bringing another
especially
mouth to feed?
exactly, especially a child because she said that today. She's like, "Well, he said another pair of hands," and I'm like, "But he's like 10 years old. Like, it's one thing if they brought back like a
Yeah,
another like true servant, but like a 10-year-old is
yeah,
not doing like
yeah, and
that much work
like
around the house."
he may still like he'll bring him back and be like, "Oh, this is my kid," but also you'll be doing work.
Well,
Like I get
exactly,
that,
exactly. So
but
yeah, I thought that was like a weird change. Well, I mean, I hate to say weird change, but it was like so for him to be like kind of more of a pet. He was a tr more true
well,
servant in the movie too, because
yeah. In the
he was
movie, he
working
was
in like
like,
well, that's all they could
"Yes,
do. Otherwise,
mm,
why did they have what reason is there for them to not be together if he's like an equal to her? So I mean, he does
exactly,
have to be more of a servant in the movie because he's also
exactly."
white. So
Yeah.
like
So
know, there's like
exactly.
themes there. But yeah, I'm like the pet of it all got a
I was like,
little
okay, weird.
yeah.
Because like I feel like Nellie was like kind of her like pet
Yeah.
before and
Well,
like
I
that's who she
yeah,
was.
in lesser
But then
terms
he's like,
because
"Oh,
or
here's this."
yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
she didn't
yeah.
really have control over Nellie. They were more true
Yeah,
companions. But
exactly.
yeah,
But just
yeah.
like someone to hang with.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
So I would love to know more about that choice, but I
yeah,
don't
it was very
know.
interesting. But like making him, I guess, super like we already knew he kind of, had the gambling blah 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 and like died early and whatever, but making him so toxic, I was like, okay, wow. We
Yeah.
are this is
Well, I feel like they had to with cutting out the other brother and cutting out, there's other
yes,
pieces
yeah,
that formed like he like because I
hmm,
mean that's what I told my sister. I'm like, so that's only half the book, and the other half of the book,
barely.
no, literally,
Yeah,
Heathcliff is on like a revenge tour. He's like coming for literally
yes,
everybody in his
yes,
life and their children. So it's like
yeah,
they cut out a lot of these characters, but he had a lot of trauma in the book from all these like different characters. So
hmm,
they kind of had
hmm,
to give the
do
dad something
something,
because
hmm,
there was only him
yeah,
versus
there's
in the
only
book
him,
there's
and
two or
then
three other people.
yeah, they made a, was it Joseph, like
Yeah.
the hand, he was like young in the movie, and I was like, oh, okay, like
I
love
know.
instead of like a 60-year-old man. I was like, okay, slay.
Sure,
um
yeah.
sure, but yeah, it was a very
I
interesting
know.
thing.
I
um
mean I still have conflicting thoughts, but it,
yeah,
it yeah.
I do want to say I did love the little children that they
Yes.
made, like young Kathy and young Heathcliff. I was like, I love this. You
Hmm.
actors, mwah, you're doing great. I loved every bit of it. Young Heathcliff was so precious. He's the kid in adolescence. I was like,
Oh, okay, yeah.
love. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the one that won. Did he win an Emmy or an Oscar? Like the
I think it was an
youngest
Emmy.
something.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, love. Good job, kiddo. I was like, stay on this screen more because I was like, I was enjoying the beginning. I was like,
Oh
okay,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then Margot pops up, and I was like, damn.
And her milkmaid dress.
Yes. I was like, this is crazy. One thing that I was just kind of like, I'm gonna vomit was the egg scene when they like, I get like it's silly when they do it both times that like first Kathy does it to Heathcliff, then Heathcliff does it to Kathy. I was like, okay, funny, that's ha ha ha. When Jacob sticks his fingers into the eggs, I was like, I'm gonna throw up.
The funny
I
thing
am
about that is
loved
like
it.
when Kathy first does it to Heathcliff, like, aren't y'all just like in poverty? Like, we're talking about how you don't have wood to burn. Because at
We
least,
gotta
like,
break the chairs and
yeah, I
like
know, I
you
know.
have to use things.
Because then
Yeah.
at least, like, when he
I was
comes
like
back,
at
like,
least
they're both
three eggs.
rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
So
like,
I thought that was funny. I'm like,
wait.
I mean, there had to be some, like, something, I guess. And
Yeah.
so that's, easiest, I guess. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
was
I'm
like,
like,
okay, but
we have the money to be
three eggs
wasting these
each?
eggs. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't have much left, I think.
I mean, those are my big things. And I hate to
Yeah.
complain because ultimately, like, I ended up giving it a three. You know what I mean? Like, it was,
Mm.
if you pretend it's not the book, it's not the
Yes.
worst movie. Like,
Yeah.
but there
Yeah.
are definitely things I didn't like still, even if I pretend the book doesn't exist. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's also, I mean, all personal choices, right? I mean, that's,
Exactly. Yeah, I think I would give it a 3 too. Like it was fine. It was good for what it was. It wasn't like the greatest movie and it wasn't the worst movie
Right.
I've seen. So
And I wouldn't expect anybody to win any awards on it. I
no,
mean,
no.
you know,
Unless it was Nelly. Because she made me
yeah,
not like her. And I was like, wow, girl, yes.
I know. Well, and I actually, now that we're kind of back on it a little bit, I really liked her
hmm
relationship with Catherine because even at the end, like her husband's like, don't like you get out of the house now, and Catherine's like, no, stay. Like they really were like, even though they
Mm.
had their ups and downs, and
Yeah, she
you
did care
know,
for Kathy. And I was
yeah,
like, yeah. And she, like, obviously, sometimes she's like, oh, like, she knew Heathcliff was there and, like, was telling him, or
you had to
like
be
just purposely
careful
made
and
like Kathy do, say what she was going to say and he was right there. But
hmm
like for most of the time she did care for Kathy and was like, I'm
yeah,
trying to do what's best for you, and really when it's best for you it's best for us so I can stay
exactly.
here.
Exactly.
Um
Well, yeah, like with the wedding
but
and stuff, she's like, Heathcliff's
mhm.
not coming back. And it's like, that's ultimately like, how would we know
Yeah.
he's coming back? Like, obviously,
Mhm.
book, like, we know the book he's coming back, but like, they have
Yeah.
no reason to believe it's been a whole year since he left,
No,
no word,
exactly.
nothing. Why would
Exactly.
he? And so, yeah, it is
Exactly.
like the best for both of them to move in
Mhm.
and do all of this. And
Mhm.
I know, I feel like people maybe are villainizing, like, there is an aspect of jealousy a little bit, obviously. That's part of, I
Mhm.
mean, we see that with the servant talking to Nellie, where she's like, "Well, you're just a companion. You're not even a legitimate, heir,
Mhm.
whatever."
Mhm.
But at the same time, I mean, I don't know. They just, I really think she had her best interest. Like when Kathy's pretending to be sick, like we have no reason to believe that she's actually sick. And so people
Mhm.
villainizing Nellie for being like, "Well,
Mhm.
she just didn't want to check on her or whatever." It's like
Yeah.
okay, we all saw how Kathy was acting in the first like hour and a half of this movie,
Yeah, Kathy,
and
she'll say
she'll throw a
anything
temper
she wants.
tantrum.
So it's like
Yeah.
we're not
So
Nellie has known
Nellie
her for
truly,
20 plus
exactly.
years. Like
So
she has been dealing with her BS and she knows. Like why
yeah,
would
she was
she? And
truly
then if
not trying
she
to kill her. Like, let's start. Like,
exactly.
I
And then
know
if
she
she
said at the
didn't
end,
like
like, I
raise
do.
her dress, like
Yeah.
why would she be doing that? But
Because even Kathy says, I think something like, well, you didn't mean it. And then she says, but I think I did. And there is
mm,
that. But at the same time, like, while there is that acknowledgement, I don't think that's 100%. Like, I really do
mm,
think she thought she
mm,
was pretending. Because, again, why would
yeah.
we have any other reason to think? I
Mm.
mean, again, besides knowing how the story ends,
Yeah, and I
but
feel like I mean, yeah, besides that, no, I think she was just like she's just being dramatic. Like she's
yeah,
upset that
yeah,
she can't be with Heathcliff. She's just being
exactly.
dramatic and sick and whatever. Why would she think it's anything more serious than that? Because Kathy is dramatic, and
Hmm.
why would Nellie think otherwise?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So, I mean,
any
I definitely, it made me want to spin the block on the book. So that's always a good thing, right? I was like, wait, maybe I should go back. And then I was like,
wait,
no, you
maybe
tried to read it twice and it didn't work out either
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. You only read it because you were
So,
like, oh, they're reading it, so let's spin the
uh-huh.
block.
Well, yeah, because I DNF'd it literally over 100 pages in. I made it
Yeah,
almost to her death, I think. I was,
I
whatever.
remember. Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, yeah.
and I was like, just look the same for me. And that's okay. But so
And that
the
is
fact that I was
okay.
like, wait, maybe I kind of want to go back,
Yeah,
I
I
thought that
feel
was
like
like, that's a good thing.
the more time I thought about the book and like after reading it, and then also I think reading Jane Eyre quickly after that, I was like, wait, do I like Wuthering Heights more than I thought I did? And
Well,
because I think I gave Wuthering Heights at first a 2, but then I think I bumped it up to a 3 because I think I gave Jane Eyre a 3. And I was like, I liked
yeah.
Wuthering Heights more than I liked Jane Eyre.
See, and I like Jane Eyre more, but it's just like a different
Yeah.
conversation. And
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think like ultimately like when Savannah's talking about Wuthering Heights, it's like I like what we're talking about,
Yeah,
like
I
the
like the
the discuss
vibes. Like
like yeah, the
the discussion's
discussion and
good.
everything. But I think when it comes down to like ultimately the actual prose of it all, like and how it's
Mm,
structured with like
mm-hmm.
Nellie telling the story, like we've said this before, but like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
yeah. I
think
think
like
that did.
so then when I'm like listening and like watching the movie, it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I really like this kind of first person or third person point
Yeah,
of
yeah,
view
yeah.
versus like in the book, it's
Nellie
not
being the
giving that.
narrator.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was our biggest issue with the book of that it was like
just a little
just
too.
randomly from Nelly and or like
Yes. So it felt
the
a little more detached because like we're
yeah.
not seeing like the love confession comes at page like 70 where it's like his
Mm-hmm.
soul and mine's the same, but it's like why would I have any reason to believe that should like that they're in love at all?
Mm,
Because for the first
mm,
70 pages it's like 50 pages of Lockwood walking in the snow and then 20 pages like about them growing up together or whatever.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it just
yeah.
the vibe like in the actual prose was like not hitting for me. But like when we talk about
Mm.
it and when I'm like
I'm like, okay, yeah,
seeing
yeah,
things. Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
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 wait.
yeah. Exactly, exactly. Versus at
Yeah.
least in Jane Eyre, like I'm here for it all. Like
Yeah.
it's the pro. Like
Yeah.
I know what's happening. But again, it's kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
diary that she's writing, I think, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway,
Yeah.
we'll talk about Jane Eyre another time. But just it's hard not to
Honestly.
compare like a little bit. I hate to do it because they're
Yeah.
so different,
Yeah.
but
They are, and they're just like, I don't know. I think it's just because well, at least I
similar
read
time
like
frame. Yeah.
right by each other. So I was just like, I was comparing
Yeah,
the
I think they were
Brontes.
published pretty
Sorry.
close to each other too.
Yeah, I
Yeah, they
think it
called
was
it
like the same
Bronte Winter,
year or
didn't
two.
they? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was like something
Yeah.
silly. And then which one died before
I think it was
they?
oh, now I'm getting it mixed up because one of them no, I think it was Emily because wasn't it
That's what I was thinking
Charlotte?
of.
Charlotte like copyright or like she did the edits on Wuthering
Yeah.
Heights and like added in all this like
Yes, yes, yes,
punctuation.
yes. Yes, 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 yes,
I'm
yes.
pretty sure it was Charlotte that
Yeah,
lived.
Emily died at 30.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say
But yeah,
all in
that's all
all,
I
it was
got.
like a good mood. Like it was, what's the
Well,
word between fine and good?
right, right. Good
That's what
question.
that's what I want to give it.
Would you recommend it to anybody? Like if somebody texted you and was like, I'm thinking about seeing it this weekend or watching it on streaming or something, like would you say like yes, no,
My
yes
first
with
question, my
reservations?
first question would be, have you read the book? And if they said no, I'd be like, go ahead. You'll
That's
love it.
yeah. No, literally. That's exactly what I did because I had two people reach out to me and they
No,
said, "Should I
literally.
see it?" And I said, "Have you read the book?" And they said,
No,
"No, I don't know a thing about the book." And I said, "Then you're gonna love
you're
it."
gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I went to a Galentine's Day dinner, literally like a couple hours after I saw the movie, and one of the other girls had seen the movie as well too. And so we were like chitty chatting about it, and then this other girl, she was like, "Oh, like Wuthering Heights, like I haven't seen it yet." I was like, "Oh, like blah blah blah," and then I was telling it, and she was, I was saying something, and I was like, "Oh yeah, well like Emerald Fennel only does like 40% of the book because Catherine dies like so early, and so it's just like blah blah." And she was like, "Spoiler alert," and I was like, "I'm sorry for spoiling a 200-plus-year-old book for you."
Yeah, yeah, it's a rough situation out here, but
But
because
also, shout out Isabel. She has started watching our pod and she followed us and she's been loving our book reviews, so she'll probably listen to it.
oh, okay.
So,
Well, I hope we weren't too much of haters because while there were things we
I don't
didn't
think so.
like, but I think that's real. That's like normal, right? People, I
Mm.
mean, there were
I
things
mean,
I didn't like
when
about
someone
Dune. I mean, there's
exactly
just
when someone puts out a piece of art that is like a movie, a music, a book, or whatever, like there will be people who like criticize it and people who like say what they would do better, they would say what they thought was wrong, what they thought was right. So I mean, you're open to being
well,
criticized,
and
I guess.
yeah, and I think, everybody knew it was kind of controversial, like
Exactly. And
because
she
they
did
put the
too. I
quotes
feel
for
like she
exactly.
knew.
That's why she put the quotes around it and all the posters
Exactly.
and stuff, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think
So,
it's fine because I know we're gonna get some people that are like, you guys were so mean to them. But
girls, you're
if I had the
such
money,
haters.
if I had the money, and I liked it better than the book, so
So there we go.
so do with that what you
There
will.
we go. That's so funny. All in all, if you haven't read the book, go
Go
watch
see
that
it.
movie.
Yeah.
Go love it. Go frolic in flowers and go watch the movie with your girls.
It's
Um
giving grab your floral.
exactly exactly why I said it.
Oh my God.
But
Trauma.
yeah,
Well,
always.
like we can never talk about this piece of media ever again. The book or the
We're going
movie.
to.
We're
We're
boycott.
going to.
Like no, no, no,
Katie,
no. We
it's
got to be
like
done. We got to be
I
done.
know, but what's our next hyperfixation of like
We'll
book
find
that
one.
we I know.
We'll find one.
I feel like because we like talk about like we'll always be talking about Bridgerton until that ends. Knock on wood, we get all of our seasons. But
We'll
what's the
find
next book
something.
to movie?
Well, I got one coming down the pipeline.
Which
I
one?
haven't read it yet, the book. Cry to Heaven by Anne Rice is being adapted by Tom Ford. You heard that
Oh,
right, the designer.
oh,
So,
oh.
yeah.
I was like,
So,
is there another Tom Ford?
no, there
Is
is
there?
not.
You're like, that's crazy, actually. When did
So,
that
could be tea coming out later this year,
try
I think.
to have
I
been?
haven't read the book yet. It's sitting on my dining room table, but
I thought
um
you've read most of her books.
I have, but that one's not part of any series. It's a standalone about Pompeii,
532.
I
Good
think.
Lord.
What is it? Oh, it's long.
533.
Well, and okay, I'm hesitant. I just know the movie's coming out. Like I'm hesitant to. I don't know if it's a good book. You know what I mean?
It just sounds crazy.
It is, I think. People
Cry to
like
Heaven
it.
is a historical novel set in 18th century Italy, focusing on the tragic lives and intertwined stories of two castrates, male singers castrated as boys to preserve their soprano
Yeah.
voices as they navigate fame, vengeance, love, and the opulent yet brutal world of opera. That sounds insane.
It's gonna be. And I think let me double check. I think it's Nicholas Hoult. I think he's in it. And Adele. It's her movie debut. It's gonna be crazy, I think.
I don't like the words you just said. I don't think.
Exactly, exactly. That's why I
Like
feel like this could be like a really good, this could be a good moment.
Air Taylor Johnson?
Yeah,
What is
yeah,
happening
yeah.
in here?
Yes. And
Wait,
Adele's
hold
movie
on.
debut. No, it's gonna be kind of everything, I think. We're gonna have a lot to talk about if we both decide to read it or whatever, see the movie or I just don't know. I feel like I'm gonna
Colin
have to.
Firth? Oh my
No,
god.
it's gonna be tea. So I don't, we'll find something.
Wait,
It may
so
not be Cry to Heaven, but that's coming out,
I'm
so
sorry, I'll have to watch this movie because this seems
whether or not you read the
insane.
book, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just be, oh my god, this sounds insane.
No,
Wait, I'm sorry that,
I'm
wow,
like
that was
waiting for
crazy.
updates on production on that. I'm like, I need
That
to know
was
more.
crazy.
But yeah, so whatever. We'll find something. Whether or not it's that
Yeah.
TBD, but there will be something.
Honestly, we'll be talking Madame Bovary soon. So
You
I
know,
need to
yeah,
continue on reading
I
that.
gotta get on that one. I'm
I need to continue. Didn't you
150
read it?
pages. I did, yeah, but
Okay.
I'm gonna run it back. It's been a long
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Thank you everybody for listening. This will probably, fingers crossed, be the last time you hear us talking about Wuthering Heights. So if you made it this far, thank you. We love. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts and follow us on socials, Close Friends List Pod. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
bye.